Hi, this is Pastor David McNitzky, and I'm joined by my wife, Pam. This summer I started my 24th year as senior pastor of Alamo Heights United Methodist Church, and I have to tell you that is a high honor, privilege, and responsibility that I cherish greatly. But I also want to tell you that I've asked the bishop that this 24th year be my last, and that next summer he send me to a different opportunity and adventure and bring a new and fresh face in my place as senior pastor here. And the reason I asked him this was that I believed it was time for a change. It was a time for a change for me personally, as the job exerts quite a toll, along with all the rewards that come with it. But I also believe that it's time for a change for our church as well. Our finances and attendance patterns have struggled a bit. That's not uncommon for large mainline churches in our country, but I do hope that a new face, a new voice, and new energy might begin to reverse some of those trends a bit. I'm very pleased, however, with the kind of response that we've had this fall to our sign-ups for classes to grow as disciples. It's unlike anything I've seen in many years, so I'm very confident about the kind of depth that is growing in our church. And I do hope that my successor will be one who can add to that depth by bringing some breadth to our congregation.
And I just want to say thank you to everyone, because one thing that you don't know is that when I talk to people who are outside this church and they find out that I'm a pastor's wife, many people say, "Isn't that like living in a fishbowl?" And I honestly tell them, no, it's not, because this congregation has allowed me to have my own profession for 20 of the years that we've lived here. And I know that many of you may not even know who I am, because I worked many weekends, I worked many holidays and many nights. And I was a nurse practitioner for those 20 years. And not only was it my profession, but it was my mission as well. And no one in this church ever came to me with expectations that I would be a certain way. We raised our family here. Our 3 boys graduated from high school while we were here. They all graduated from college while we were here. And so I just want to say thank you to everyone. This has been a difficult decision for us, one that we have prayed about, and David and I call it our adventure. We don't know where we will be, but wherever we end up, we know that we will take a little bit of Alamo Heights with us wherever we go.
As always, my wife is correct and I agree with her. But as always, I get the last word. So I'd like to say 3 things in closing. The first thing is to tell you that, in the words of a movie from the 1970s, I'm not dead yet. I'm still very much alive and here, and will be here for the next 6 months, leading and preaching and teaching and shepherding to the best of my ability. But also I need to tell you that while I will be here until May the 5th, your church leaders will continue to be here as well. They've already met with the bishop to discuss and give input on this transition and on the qualities they are looking for in the next senior pastor. I'm sure they will be continuing to consult with the bishop in the days ahead to bring the very best person here. I'm not an expert, nor do I have knowledge that is complete, but my guess would be we would know sometime in the early spring who the new pastor would be, and that pastor would take office the 1st of July. And so I'm going to stay here and do my job. The leaders of this church, who I've grown to trust more and more each month that we spend together, they'll continue to do their job as well. Now, what about you? I'm hoping you'll do your job. I'm hoping you'll continue to be the body of Christ that I have always known you to be, that you will be Christ's hands and feet in this community, His ears and His eyes, that by loving and accepting people regardless of differences in either theology or practice, you will welcome them, and in so doing you will help this earth be a lot more like God intended it become. Help it become more like heaven. I'm also confident that you'll continue on your journey to become more and more like Christ. I look forward to sharing the next 6 months of the journey with you, and I'm even more optimistic about the wonderful destinations God has for us as we continue our respective journeys after those days. May God bless you. Stay on this road and journey of faith.